Yep.
It takes a little while to get everybody on, right?
Yep, we're on.
Okay. Hi everybody, I'm Katherine Barnette. I'm a registered dietitian here to do some healthy cooking classes today. We're going to try to do 2 recipes and fit it into 30 minutes, and then we're going to post the recipes as well. So if y'all missed something in the live video, you can come back and rewatch it or look for that video or the recipes posted later on. I'm going to do one immune boosting recipe with lots of good healthy ingredients that we should really include in our diet all of the time, but especially right now is helpful. And that one is called coconut curry shrimp. And then I'm going to do a fun recipe that's simple, no bake, for the kids primarily, but you may find that these are tasty and able to be fit into your diet. They're called no bake energy bites, and those recipes can be modified if you have certain allergies or diet restrictions. And if you have questions, go ahead, feel free to ask them here. And if I don't catch it during the live video, then I will. I'll try to get back on and comment and answer questions later on today. All right, so first of all, I'll introduce a little bit more about the no-bake energy bites first. So I have this handy, it's like a canister measuring cup. Actually, it's on backwards. So one part is measuring cup and one part is kind of like this cylinder that helps to push sticky ingredients out. I find this really helpful for things like peanut butter and honey, which are actually our first 2 ingredients. So first off, half a cup of your favorite nut butter. I'm going to use peanut butter, just easy and simple, okay? All right, so I'm going to push it up to a half a cup. Get my peanut butter out. Grab a pretty large bowl, a medium bowl. It'll all fit in a medium bowl here. Okay. So I just have a spatula that's kind of smaller, and then that way I can scoop out enough sticky peanut butter. If you have a peanut allergy, you can use a different nut butter. You can use sunflower butter. Anything that's just got the kind of sticky consistency is what you're looking for. Okay. All right, so here's the magic of one of these type of measuring cups. You just push it forwards and slide all of that into your bowl. All right, so that's a half a cup of peanut butter. Get my honey. I need 1/3 of a cup of honey. And this just adds a little bit of natural sweetness. Honey is a little bit slower of a digested carb too, so it causes quite such a high spike in your blood sugar. And it kind of steadily releases the sugar into your system as it's digested. Squeeze. Just about. All right. So y'all know how sticky honey can be to get out of like a measuring cup. So watch, this is just that simple. And these types of measuring cups, I found this one at Bed Bath & Beyond years and years and years ago. So it should be available where you can find most any of your cooking utensils. All right. So that is our sticky ingredients. Now I'm going to put in this is just vanilla. Let me find my measurement card. Just 1 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm just going to eyeball this, but you can get out your teaspoon measuring spoon. 1 to 2 teaspoons for flavor there. And I put my salt. I would put a little bit, like a dash of salt, again, just for a little bit of flavor in there. Now we're going to go for our dry ingredients. What I have first is a cup of old-fashioned oats, but these have been kind of pulsed in a food processor, so they're a lot smoother. Usually old-fashioned oats are going to be kind of chewy, a little bit tough. So if you've got especially little kids, like my 3-year-old, he can still, kind of mash that up, but he'd prefer it to be a little bit softer. So pulse it in a food processor if you can, or I have like a Ninja Bullet blender that would work just as easily. So that is 1 cup of old-fashioned oats. This is shredded coconuts. So a cup of shredded coconut, that's what I'm putting in next. Again, these are energy bites, so they're meant to be a little bit energy dense. I don't know if you're like me, but my kids have been asking me for snacks left and right. And to me, it feels like if I give them one more cracker or chips or anything else that just comes out of a package or a box, I feel like it's because they're not getting full. So these are gonna help them to hopefully feel full, finally. That would be nice. Okay, then I'm gonna put in a little bit of cinnamon, 1 to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And again, I'm just gonna eyeball it. This is for flavor, and it does help to enhance a little bit of that flavor, that sweet flavor. All right, so now we're gonna put in what I consider a superfood, which is 1 to 2 tablespoons of some sort of ground seed. So the types I brought with me today, I brought ground chia seeds. I found this container came from Walmart, so it's accessible, ground chia seeds, and ground flaxseed meal. These are 2 great sources of healthy fats and fiber. So I'm going for that filled up but fueled up effect from these snacks. Instead of just eating to eat, these are actually going to stick with them for a little while. So I put all of my 2 tablespoons in there, and one or the other, you can mix them if you have both. Then finally, a half a cup of something, maybe a little extra if you wanted to. You could put in like raisins, golden raisins, add a nice little sweet texture without being the old boring types of raisins that come in your boxes. Or you can do like me and put in some mini chocolate chips, because again, that 3-year-old is a little picky with trying new things, but if he sees a chocolate chip in it, he's probably gonna eat it. All right, so that all goes in your medium bowl here, and then you just mix until you get all of it combined. Again, this is kind of a workout for your mixing arm. But see, it's coming together, and then it will form a soft dough down to that bottom where that peanut butter was. Kind of get the idea of what the formed dough would look like when it's all combined together. Then what you want to do is put this in the refrigerator to let all of those sticky ingredients harden a little bit for you. And then that will be easier to come back later. You don't have to have a scooper, but this just helps. That'll make it easier to come back after about 30 minutes in the refrigerator to scoop a little ball size amount. And then that's actually a pretty generous portion of a energy ball. I made mine a little bit smaller. Again, I have little kids, little bites, and then this kind of fits on their snack tray, breakfast tray, and maybe 1 or 2 for them, for the like 2 to 3-year-olds, and then for my 4, 5, 6-year-olds, then they could do maybe 2 or 3 for a snack, or for a meal maybe 4, just to get started with their day with something that's not coming out of a package or wrapper or a box. And that's what I have here. These are my little bit smaller portion sizes of the energy balls, and these have been in the refrigerator for a little while. And you can leave them in the refrigerator. I would fix this portion and maybe leave it for 4 or 5 days. In the refrigerator should be good up to a week, but they probably won't last that long. That's the kind of the idea. So that's a simple, healthy, easy, quick. We did that in 5 minutes. Recipe to keep your kids fueled up, filled up, and actually get some good, healthy ingredients in their system and their snacks from day to day. So now we are all getting snack attacked right now. All right, so we're going to switch gears, and for the entire family, but especially for anybody who's interested in boosting their immune system and keeping themselves healthy, we're going to talk about the coconut curry shrimp recipe. So I'm going to scooch down here. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of prep work here, and I'll talk a little bit about the recipe right here, and then we're going to go into the kitchen and I'll actually show you how to cook everything together. So our first ingredient we're going to talk about out here is 1 onion that's been chopped, and that I did in my chopper. So if y'all came to your February cooking class, I showed you the chopper then for onions. I can't stand to chop an onion. It makes me cry, it's smelly, so I put it straight into my chopper, I put it on the dice blade and chop it away. Something like that makes your prep work so much easier, and the easier a recipe is, the more likely you are to actually fix it, right? So chopped onion is in there. The basis of this immune recipe is coming from the immune enhancing ingredients are your onion, then we have garlic in there, and we have ginger. This is a ginger root. A little bit of it's been peeled already. These are all from a family of phytochemicals called allium family, and they contain an ingredient called allicin inside of them. Allicin is helpful for your immune system. So anything that's kind of white or clear in color, those types of vegetables and fruits are going to contribute to your immune system because they contain that allium compound that we're looking for. So it can actually help to feed your immune cells, and it's actually got some antibacterial components to it as well. So think about that kind of going through your system as an antibacterial agent, but it's found naturally in your foods. The trick to getting the allicin, that phytochemical that we want, out of garlic in particular, so out of your garlic cloves, and I always try to go with a fresh clove of garlic if I can, not anything that's been pre-minced or chopped for me. You can find garlic that's been minced and then frozen. That would almost be better than going with a bottled or jarred chopped garlic. But fresh if you can, and then I just get a little garlic clove press like this one. Again, bought this I think at Walmart, but it does the trick, so it's going to mince it for me so I don't have to do quite so much chopping. But the trick with garlic, in order to have that allicin chemical develop from the garlic you chop, you want to have it chopped, minced, prepared for use about 10 minutes before you're going to actually put it into your dish to cook it. So you want to let that develop for about 10 minutes to let those oils mix with the air to actually form that helpful chemical compound that's going to do work for your body. So when I have taken all of the paper off of this garlic clove, just one clove at a time, then I chop off the rough ends of it, and then I have about a half of a garlic clove right here. And I'll show you. I'm just going to open my press, put it in there, and then press down, kind of like you're juicing an orange. And just press and press and press. And then with each clove you get about maybe a half a teaspoon, and this is a half a clove, so just keep in mind. So that one I won't use for our recipe, but this I chopped and peeled and crushed about 20 minutes ago, so it's ready for our recipe now. So that's got the right ingredients. And then this ginger root we're going to grate straight into our recipe. So we are ready to head back there. All right. So y'all come with me. So I got my burner on. I'm going to do probably medium high. Yeah. Alright, first I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. I like avocado oil, healthy fat. You could use olive oil too, again, kind of the same properties there. Prefer to do either olive, avocado oil, not do like a canola or vegetable oil. Those are just a little less healthy. They're a little bit more processed oil. So avocado or olive oil. Then we're going to have our 1 onion that's been chopped. That's going to go into here. Love the way onion tastes, hate the way onion smells, but I eat it because it's good for me. All right, so that's going to saute. We're going to let that saute for about 5 minutes or so, but you'll know that it's getting done because it's going to turn translucent in color. While that's cooking, I'll tell you, I got bagged shrimp that is peeled, deveined. The tail is already off. Again, all the prep work is done for me. It is raw shrimp. If you want to do this recipe a little faster, you can go ahead and buy cooked shrimp. That way, as soon as you throw it in the pan and heat it, then it's done. With raw shrimp, you want to make sure it's cooked until it is pink. And that way you'll know that that is done. So we are sauteing our onion. I'm going to go ahead and add in about a teaspoon of salt. This is pink Himalayan sea salt. It has a little bit more magnesium to it. A lot of us are deficient or not getting enough magnesium from foods. Magnesium also helps to keep us calm, which I think we could all use a little bit of something to keep us calm right now. So about 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. Does not have to be pink Himalayan. It can just be your regular kosher sea salt. A little bit of flavoring in there. A couple more minutes on the onions. Alright, so here's the next recipe will be my garlic that I'll just throw in there straight from the cutting board. Remember, it has been sitting out for 10 minutes at least. Let those oils and those compounds develop that are going to do work in our body. I'm a messy cook. Alright, so I'm going to shred that right down in there. This is when you need to be able to smell from your TV or from your screen. The garlic and onion, you know that smell. That's pungent flavor. Next, I'm going to grate in about a tablespoon of ginger. You can get out your measuring spoon if you want to. I'm again just going to eyeball it. But I have already peeled off some of this outer coating of the ginger root. Ginger's found in your produce section. If you've never bought fresh ginger before, it's in your produce section, and it's not expensive. So I'm just going to grate a little bit of fresh ginger. Again, the flavor you cannot beat fresh ginger. If you don't have fresh, you can use go to the spice aisle and use the ground ginger from your spice aisle. You're still getting some of those great immune boosting qualities out of your ground spices. And this is what's going to kind of give it a little bit of a Thai flavor as well. This is like an Asian type of flavor, is this ginger root. And my grater here, again, came from Walmart. I'm not fancy when it comes to my cooking utensils, just need them to work. And this one's nice, it fits straight into the top rack of my dishwasher, so anytime I use it, I don't have to do that dish. I don't have to wash this. Right into the dishwasher. Okay. Move a little bit faster now. I'm going to do a tablespoon of curry powder. Okay. So I have my curry powder right here. Curry has turmeric in it. So turmeric, if you don't already know about turmeric, a little bit more oil in here too. Turmeric has curcumin in it, which is the phytochemical we're after. Curcumin is a powerful antioxidant. So we're just going to shake in and let that kind of saute in the oil. That turmeric is what gives it that bright yellowy orange color. And we want our food to have good natural color to it. That's, again, a feast for the eyes before it even hits our taste buds. And the more color on your plate, the more healthy phytochemicals you're getting in. See, it's turning our onions yellow, brown, orangey-ish color. Okay. Now we're ready for some liquids in there. It's getting pretty dry. So we're going to do a can of full-fat coconut milk. We want full-fat flavor, It's coming from the full fat. Also, it's filling, so when we eat this food, it's not gonna leave us feeling hungry afterwards. And, I'll get this worked off. And the fat in the coconut milk, the fat in the coconut milk helps our body absorb some of these phytonutrients that we're using in our other ingredients. So if we don't have fat in our food, we can't fully utilize and get the maximum power out of the other parts of our food that we're putting in, with the vitamins that we're putting in, the minerals we're putting in. We need fat in our diet to get all the healthy nutrients out of the other food. So let that simmer, come to a bubble. Also, so the fat in the coconut milk is important for nutrient absorption. Whenever you're using anything that contains turmeric, you also use pepper. Pepper helps to unlock the turmeric so that your body can actually absorb it. Otherwise, it's a nice ingredient. It's good you ate it, but you don't get any benefit from it. So we use a little bit of fresh ground pepper. Unlock that turmeric. All right, so this is coming up to a simmer. Also for flavor, I'm going to put in a couple squirts of lime juice, 1 tablespoon. And that again is just kind of a Thai flavor combination there. A little bit of citrus. If you don't have lime juice and you got lemon juice, use lemon juice. Probably wouldn't use anything less acidic than that. And so you can just skip it if you don't have the lime juice on hand. All right, so that bubble is what I want to see. That means that is ready for my shrimp to go in. Okay. And with these, we're going to cook until they start to turn pink. And we're going to cook them kind of in this medium to low heat. So it's going to take a little while for those to cook and come to pink. And then they're going to absorb some of this yellow color as well. But see, it doesn't take very long. Some of them are already starting to pink up on the tails. So you'll just keep stirring them so they don't stick. Cook until they're done, which means they're pink. And then with this dish, I like to serve it over, let's see, if I'm having a low carb day, I'll serve over cauliflower rice. And if not, you can serve it over regular white rice, brown rice. You can serve it over soba noodles, spaghetti noodles even, to help kind of absorb some of this sauce. But the secret, especially of this recipe, the secret is in the sauce. So this sauce, this recipe, up until we added the shrimp, you could add in any type of protein and still get the wonderful benefits of that sauce. You could add in like a shredded rotisserie chicken if you really want to make this a simple, convenient, and quick weeknight meal. You could just do like a regular, cooked chicken. You could even put in like a ground turkey that you've already cooked and set aside before, or ground beef. But again, the secret right now for our immune health is to get some of these wonderful immune-enhancing ingredients in our diet on a regular basis. So this sauce, I would try to make at least the sauce part once a week and have it on some sort of, in some way worked into your diet. All right, so we are almost there, getting pretty pink. Let's see through. And that was, so the last ingredient was 1 to 2 pounds of your shrimp. So if you want it less saucy and more protein in there, get a couple packages of the shrimp that I showed you earlier. Then our last step will be when this is all fully cooked through and we're serving it up in dishes. I'll just give you an example, is some parsley to garnish it, just to give it a little extra green, punch of green flavor and color. I've also put into this dish before, I've put in maybe like some fresh kale and cooked it with the shrimp to soften it, and it turned out wonderful. It gave it some extra chewy, crunchy texture, and also getting all of those good benefits of having kale in my food, which is a whole nother family of immune-enhancing types of ingredients from your cruciferous vegetables. I'm going to turn this down. And this is just about, checking to see, almost every single one of them is pink, or at the very least not see-through. So this would be about another minute or so of simmering, and then it would be ready to serve. All right. Do you want to head back out there? Or? Okay. Yeah. Turn this off.
Terry and Johnny Clark said, can you possibly list the ingredients and amounts?
Sure. We can list them out in, like, to actually type them out for you. I'll put those in the comments, or make sure that the recipes are attached, or available for you on Facebook too. But the ingredients for the coconut curry shrimp, I'll let you just look at it too, in case y'all want to like kind of screenshot it or just look at it. That's my recipe, what I followed. So you do 1 onion that's chopped, and you cook that in 1 to 2 tablespoons of avocado or olive oil. Then you do 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of the grated ginger, 1 tablespoon of curry powder. That's your yellow curry powder. You want to add a little bit of salt, so you're going to need a little bit of a pinch of salt to add to that. And then the 1 can of full-fat coconut milk. That I find in the Asian ingredients section of the grocery store. So where you would find like soy sauce, is also where you're going to find your other Asian sauces. And then if you go kind of just keep going down in the aisle, you'll find coconut milk. And it is canned, not the kind that you can find that's packaged like in your milk alternative section of the grocery store, not that type. Then you do 1 to 2 pounds of your raw, deveined, peeled, tail off shrimp. Now all those steps you can do yourself, but I prefer to have somebody else do it for me. And then I put in a little bit of lime juice into my sauce as it's simmering before I add the shrimp. And then you can garnish it with parsley, you could do basil, cilantro, whichever flavors you like. And you could do fresh, or you can do dried. And those fresh herbs and spices are a whole nother family of phytochemicals that we sometimes kind of miss from our foods when we don't think to add them. But you can get those phytochemicals from both your fresh types and your dried types. So go down that spice aisle if you haven't been in a while and pick up some extra spices and see how you can work those into your foods on a more regular basis, because they're all giving you a little bit of healthy ingredients.
And Chad will list the recipe and post up a pic about it so you guys can check it out later on.
Cool, yeah. All right. Any other questions that you see? All right. Well, thanks for joining me for Healthy Cooking class. I hope you guys enjoy it. Get to cook in this weekend. Enjoy the outside this weekend. Get outside in that sunshine. Get that vitamin D. Another ingredient that's really helpful for your immune system that you can get from sunlight, but you should be getting from your food. If not from your food, take a simple vitamin D supplement. Again, it's helpful for a lot of different things in your body, but your immune system is one of them. So that's my last little spiel for nutrition this week. Y'all have a good weekend.